We'll watch some of this. It's an hour and 40 minutes. We'll watch some of it.
Ask us questions as well. I said, okay, sure, we're an open book.
Which because we were negotiating for this.
Yeah,
that starts with part one.
I'm a little upset we didn't get paid for having this interview, but that's fine. We have to take it in stride. So, Andrew, why don't we just start there? Why don't you establish
the 7,000's in the mail?
Yes, exactly.
For reference, the 7,000 comes from this social media campaign Israel is doing, where it would pay influencers and politicians 7,000 for saying something nice about Israel or saying something on Israel's behalf, which is pretty funny. I like going around and saying plus 7K on these accounts.
Yeah, well, according to Candace, I have a much higher price tag than that. So let's start here. What is your relationship with Turning Point?
I went down and did some help with a debate course. That's the entirety of the relationship, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, and that was the one time I've met you. You were on campus. You were teaching some debaters. I thought you were very nice. Much to my.
What is the overall point of this exactly? This is like to address what everyone's saying about you guys. I mean, in the end, mostly what people are saying are you guys are all a bunch of disgusting freaks for posting this on his account. I mean, here's Andrew Wilson in a previous tweet saying, "Light up, Doc. Nobody likes Charlie Kirk, not even Charlie Kirk." And yet somehow they're posting a video with Andrew Wilson in it, bad-mouthing Charlie Kirk's friend on Charlie Kirk's account. I mean, that's just, come on, man. What is this? What is going on here? He promised you would not post from his account. This is the worst. All I can do is spam this. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause, which was tweeted just a few days before he was murdered. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is just gross.
Surprised based on your public persona at times. I'm kidding. I actually really appreciate the way that you kind of handle your business, but I haven't known you. It's not like a thing that we know Andrew Wilson really well. Like, as far
they're trying to pretend, they're bringing this up because everybody assumed that TPUSA sent Andrew Wilson to go and talk on their behalf or even help fronted the money, which I totally believe. I think it did. Even after this makes me feel like they probably did. I'm sure there was some communication. But either way, like, what the fuck?
As far as I know, you said some things that weren't exactly super positive and nice about us, but you have been on a dogged
Hang on. In my defense, I was mostly mean to Blake. Okay. In my defense, I was mostly mean to Blake.
Same here.
And that's not as mean to yeah. So I mean, if I can make a defense for myself, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, hopefully we can. Blake sitting here going like,
I don't even know what he's referring to, but whatever.
Yeah. What did you say about Blake?
I don't remember.
I was
doing. I know what it was. It was doing
water
a
under the
review.
bridge. Water.
Yeah, I was doing a review. This was a while ago after Charlie had passed away, and during the review, I said one of the problems I think with the show is that these guys are just too nice. Like, they're really nice guys, right? I actually was pointing this out.
I don't know how to say a comment that might come off as homophobic, but yeah, Andrew Wilson, known for only giving out compliments, and one of them, he's the only one I've ever heard him give is to these guys for being too nice. I don't watch these guys, TPUSA anymore. I really only watch during election nights to hear, watch Charlie go over them. I didn't even know it was really still around.
And then I'm the nice one?
I know. He's flipped his
There's a misread. There's a misread on this one here.
I thought that I thought that it was going to get pretty brutal because the left was out in force and they were weaponizing everything that they possibly could against the legacy of Charlie Kirk. He had become a martyr overnight to the entirety of the right, and he was everybody's martyr. It didn't matter, seemingly, if you were a person who hated him or didn't hate him. Suddenly, he hit martyrdom status. And so I think one of the critiques I was doing a video on, and it wasn't particularly bad, by the way. And I've always said that I thought TPUSA was more of a force for good than it was for bad. But one of the criticisms was, I don't know if these guys know what's coming for them. Like, I don't know if they know what's going to be coming their way.
The debate. I saw that you gave yourself a score of like 7 out of 10. I'm genuinely curious, and you gave her a score of 3 out of 10 or 7.5. I forget what it was exactly.
Well, if I could take the lead on this, just what were your immediate feelings getting in that room, engaging with her directly in person like that for, I believe, the first time?
Same.
I think I might be wrong, but I think Candace has consistently tried to talk to this guy in the middle. I forget his name. So I find it odd that, if that's true, I find it odd that they have to get somebody else to explain, like Candace Owens, versus just meeting her themselves when she's, if it's true, has invited them to go and talk to her and address her. So I don't know, bro. Why are these two white guys so scared of that little black woman?
Same. I was going to ask them the same question.
Well, I'm going to be really just kind of upfront and yeah, hang on. I'm sorry.
Live TV.
Yeah, we're in the midst. Actually, quite stunned. I didn't think that she was a very smart person at all. I had good reason to believe that going in, but I didn't think that she was a particularly good interlocutor. She never made any points at all. She would just kind of ramble. It was just kind of incoherent.
She made lots of points. It's just, you again, I've said it a lot. I'm not gonna kind of rehash everything I said in that long ass video, but it was clear that you were too stupid to understand the points that she was making. Even if her points were invalid, you can still understand what someone is saying to you or trying to say to you without them being correct, which is what you should do as a person trying to communicate with another human being. You should always try and understand what it is they're saying, even if you don't agree with it. And you are either incapable of understanding anything she was saying, or you just didn't even try. And to be honest with you, it seemed like you were incapable.
Babble and ramble, and anytime I would get to the point or make her address an actual point, she would go back to rambling incoherently. She didn't understand what inductive reasoning was. I even spelled it out in a.
I do think it's funny, his view of like how the debate went, or how like his impression of Candace is entirely different than my own and so many other people. And after posting the videos and getting some comments and feedback, most people seem to have agreed with what I said about Candace and what I've said about him. It's funny to me that what I've gathered from the few people who seem to think Andrew was winning in some way, shape, or form. Again, I'm sorry if you're an Andrew fan, but from what I've gathered, you guys all seem like retarded because this is the retard man's version of a smart man. It's like a caveman who is willing to leave the cave, and the rest sit around in the cave and just clap at the oonga boonga noises coming out of this guy's mouth. It's hilarious. I hate being so crude and rough, but I don't know how else to describe it. Most of the Candace fans, actually, some of them have corrected me. They're like, "Oh no, this is what she was trying to say," or this and that, and they're pretty eloquent in telling me what it is, how they feel. Speak better than me. But the Andrew Wilson fans are just like, "Are you dumb?" And that's kind of it. I never really made a point to explain why. But I mean, I guess I shouldn't have expected anything from the guy who just runs around and saying, the most basic shit.
Very, very simplistic way. Inductive reasoning would be like if, then, and, or. So if I'm 20 minutes away from my job, and I'm supposed to be there in 5 minutes, then I can assume I'm going to be late, right? That would be an inductively reasoned out position. When I explained that to her and then asked her to give me her induction for how we get to Israel, TPUSA, France, and all these other people who are involved in the conspiracy to murder Kirk, she actually didn't even understand what I was asking her.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, it was that was the toughest part of the debate, was that she actually didn't even understand half of what I was saying.
Explain that, actually, because you do a ton of these debates, and is it sort of like one of those things? I
have watched some of this.
Good friend who's
Sorry,
a professional tennis player. He said it's really hard to play against bad tennis players because you can't actually serve and volley like you've been training for years to do. You actually it gets easier if the quality of the opponent
You're
is better.
anticipating
Yes.
where a pro would hit it back,
Yeah.
and they just hit it some other spot.
Yeah, exactly. Is it kind of like
Yeah, I'm gonna pause because I hear this argument a lot. I was GM in League for quite a while, top fucking 400 or whatever, and this is a common cope I hear, or I heard. I haven't played them in forever. It's a common cope I've heard from dog shit players who think they're good. When a good player in quotes is losing to a bronze player, that's what they'll say. They'll say, well, they're just so bad at the game, I can't anticipate their moves. I don't know what they're going to do. They're not doing what I expect. It's things to, like, if you're a League of Legends fan, you understand, like dying to a gank that's, doesn't make sense to them because the jungler is supposed to be attacking dragon instead of going top. When in reality, your death is your own fault because you didn't ward or because you didn't anticipate all of the possibilities. You can see both these retards smiling about their weird analogy that they're trying to just throw at them. They're just trying to give him a layup. Obviously, all three of them here are just dog on Candace, is basically what I'm saying. And they're retarded. It's just real fucking stupid and basic. Like, I don't know, guys.
that where the person
Is it like that? Like, she's just so dumb. You just don't know how to respond to the words she's saying, bro. Like, a debate is like tennis, right, dude? What? Oh, huh? Like, what are you saying? He made no effort in trying to pick apart anything she said. And I gave examples during that episode as to what he could have said. When she was talking about a picture, he could have just said, let's see the picture. What's in the picture? He could have, if she was so dumb that she's there talking about Evans but not presenting it or going into details about it, which she kind of was, and it was a little frustrating that she didn't go into further detail. He could have just walked her through it. But he didn't. He just resorted to personal attacks and just out of context clips. These people are such a joke. What disgusting human beings.
across from you is not even keeping up with the basic blocking and tackling of a debate. It's almost more challenging for you in that way.
Well, here I'll demonstrate it for you. So, you just asked me a pointed question. What your pointed question was is, hey, Andrew, if somebody doesn't know what they're doing on the other side of this thing, does it actually make it more difficult
No.
to do this thing?
The easiest answer should be no. Otherwise, all the bronze players in League of Legends would be able to beat all the gold players in League of Legends or diamond players or above. Quite simple. That's what they're saying is what should happen, which we all know is not a thing that makes sense. Yes, the rookie tennis players beat the best tennis players because the best tennis players don't know. What? Huh? So the best players are actually dog shit? What are you saying? Doesn't make any sense.
Right? Now, I could just say, well, yes, of course, and then we would move on with the conversation. But if I was going to be Candace Owens, I would say, well, what we're talking about here is how I feel and about how I feel about the various things that I'm talking about when it comes to debate. And
She didn't talk like that. I don't know why he's talking like that.
you say that I'm not a very skilled interlocutor, but we have evidence of me being a skilled interlocutor. You can look back at all the times that I've done interlocuting with other people. And
It's trying to be clever with the insult, right? That's what they're doing. However, I don't have to be clever. I could just say you three men are disgusting retards. Like, what is this? You want to sit around for an hour and 40 minutes and bash this chick? Let's say you're right. Let's say you're the better people. Let's say you beat her in the debate. Let's say she's dumb. Let's say TPUSA is fantastic. Let's say it's actually doing well, when in reality, Candace Owens is actually pulling more numbers on every platform than both of these guys, both these people, they're whatever, the Crucible and TPUSA combined and then doubled. Let's just say that wasn't the case. Let's just say these guys were bigger. Why are you punching down so hard? Why? Why do you feel the need to punch down so hard and then post it on Charlie Kirk's account? Why? I don't get it.